I have one question.
हम्म,
How do
बोल ना.
we determine the age
आवाज येतो पण
if
माझं
we
कमी
are
झालं
not
बघ.
aware of numbers? I repeat it.
बोलतोय म्हटलं आता.
How do we find the age of someone if we are unaware of numbers?
हा, बरं झालं.
So I come from a community where, we do not have scripts, no scripts. I come from a small place. It's called as the Nilgiris. Okay, and this is one of the oldest place on earth. It's older than the Himalayas. I always wonder, how do the indigenous communities find the age of someone 1,000 years ago when they have no knowledge about numbers or they have no written scripts? How do the indigenous community find water sources? How do the indigenous community made and maintained fire? And why all these indigenous community build temples on the mountain tops? The answer lies in the rituals they performed. I come from one of the oldest landscape in the world. It's older than the Himalayas, the Nilgiris. The Nilgiris is part of the Western Ghats and it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a biodiversity hotspot. It's also home to, a lot of indigenous communities, including the Toras, the Bargas, the Kotas, Kunumbas, Virulas, and the Panias. I belong to the Barga community, and rituals plays a vital role in these communities. These are not random sounds they make. They have practical meaning in that. So before that, we were buffalo herders. So in order to control the buffaloes and navigate the buffaloes, we make these noises. Not just that. Okay, so those days, we do not have roads, no transportation or communication facility. We have to walk from village to village, and each village is like 20 kilometers away. So we used to walk, and after the walk, people used to wait and receive us with a pot of water, holy water. It's called so called as holy water, but these are herbal waters. Okay, because we would have walked a long distance, our feet would have infected, and just to soothe and disinfect, they pour water, and now it's a ritual. And they also thank us by bowing down and, as a sign of respect and gratitude. And those days, we used to walk in the jungles, deep forests. So in order to defend ourselves, and we use it as a hiking pole. We always carry a 5 to 6 feet of stick. Now it's become a holy stick, no more in use. And this is another interesting event. It's called as Madhwet, one of the Thoda tribe. They celebrate this New Year, and this is part of their New Year celebration. So what they do is they have to lift a stone, a boulder about 80 kgs over the shoulders and throw it behind. Okay, it's part of, it's to test their strength. But that is not the actual purpose. Those days, there were many stones of different sizes. Okay, the smaller one, the bigger, and the biggest. And each size represents, a responsibility, and each size, determines a maturity level. And that's how they find the age of a person. Suppose if you can lift the smaller stone, then you can take care of 2 buffaloes. The bigger stone, maybe 20 buffaloes. The bigger stone, you are eligible for marriage. And that's how, and those rituals have gone, they have lost. All right, now it's mere ritual without the logic. And they also, see, the indigenous communities are keen observers of nature. So this is Neelakurinji, one of the rarest flowers in the world. It blooms every 12 years. Okay, and with that, they determine the age. So if they have witnessed one blooming, then it's 12 years. 2 bloomings, 24, and 36. Okay, and that's how, the age worked. Another ritual, we call it as Halla Parva. Halla means water and Parva means offering. So every year, a set of people go to the mountain top and worship water. Okay, and still till date it's practiced. But the intended purpose is not worshipping. Those days, the main source of water is from the mountain tops, spring water, and we considered it as pure. And every day, every year, we go there not to worship or not to thank water, but to remove all the debris and clean the blockages. All right, so that we get continuous water, and then thank. So now the cleaning is forgotten, and only we do the worship, and as a result, it blocks and no water at all. Now we are depending upon the municipal piped water. And there's another interesting ritual. It's called as Dodamane. Doda means big and Mane means house. Okay, so there's a ritual in this Dodamane, like you burn the lamp 24/7. The respective family would take care of the lamp. They keep on feeding oil, and whenever you go, the light is on, the lamp is on. All right, and they consider it as a religious practice. But no, it has a logic behind it. Those days, fire is essential. Okay, fire was one of the important element for survival, for warmth, for cooking, and keeping the predators away. All right, so again, fire making was very difficult. It would take like 20 to 30 minutes to make fire using the bow drill method. Okay, so what they do, they lit fire in one house. So one house has fire all the time. So whoever wants it, they can take it from that house, and and this symbolizes, the lamp symbolizes, the utilization of fire. All right, so that logic is forgotten. And again, we do it as a ritual part. Every year, during the harvest festival, we still make fire using the bow drill, and it's called as nilgiris. Another interesting ritual is called as Kapu Sekkodu. Kapu means protection, Sekkodu means to fix. So on ancestral worship, we take few plants, say about 6 to 7 plants, and we fix it on the rooftop. Okay, and people think that it's for a decoration purpose. It's been practiced by many communities across the globe. But, these are hand-picked plants. These are hand-picked plants. And, they think that these plants will keep the evil spirit away. But when you examine these plants, okay, I'm giving it with the scientific names, each plant has its own properties. Okay, one has a camphor, a strong camphor smell. Another is a antibiotic. Another is an antidote for snake bite. Another is an antifungal. Okay, so all these plants are not to keep the evil spirit. Those days, evil spirit means insects and bugs. All right, so keep the evil spirits away, insects and bugs away. They used to fix these plants on the rooftops. So every ritual has a logic behind it. So without knowing the logic, it remains a maya, remains an illusion. We are just doing it for the sake of ritual. So for thousands of years, these indigenous communities across the world, have lived in harmony with nature, understood its supremacy, learned through trial, error, and observation, and developed a vast and varied knowledge system in terms of food preparation, fire making, water conservation, medicine, farming, etc., etc. And they have passed this information through rituals and stories and proverbs and folklores to the next generation. Okay, so let's embrace the rituals. Thank you.